Good morning from country number 1. Last time we checked in, we were all the way back in Cambodia, where we found out that we had a bit of an emergency that we had to deal with back here in the United States. Tyler actually flew home right away, and I spent an entire week in Thailand at Selena hotels. Although it was incredible, we're finally back in the US now, and we've been here for 4 full weeks. Arguably Minnesota's largest holiday. We're going to be taking you around, showing you some of the best eats here at the Great Minnesota Get Together, and answering some of the questions that have been piling up over the last couple months, including what we're doing after our world trip and what brought us back to the States in the first place.
Yeah, we're almost dropped.
We actually already parked, which was a fiasco in and of itself. We parked in someone random's yard.
So I'm gonna have you turn right at the corner there where the curb is low, and you're gonna be in this front yard next to that Jeep.
We also got a handy dandy blue book, which has coupons for like the entire fair. And we're not really sticking to our $100 a day budget because we're home, so don't judge.
So our first stop today is crab fritters. We had them in Alaska. They're like Deborah's favorite.
I don't expect them to be as good, but we had to try them. Should be a good breakfast. It's like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
So we told you guys every food that we would get. We would answer a question that you guys have sent in while we have our crab fritters. We're gonna answer our first question, asking us to compare our safari in Sri Lanka to our safari in Africa that we did a few years ago. And although they are both incredible, if you're looking to see some of the bigger, more famous animals like the big 5, definitely recommend Africa. Oh God.
It's okay.
Oh my gosh. She stopped at our car. If price is a factor, then go to Sri Lanka. Now on to food stop number 2.
Our second thing of the day is a s'mores beer. It tastes kind of like a s'mores. She took the best part.
One of Tyler's favorite pastimes at the fair is coming to look at all the ice houses.
I make Deborah do it every year.
Every year. Fun fact though, this is actually where Tyler's dad bought his ice house a few years ago.
Yeah, it's actually one that was here at the state fair.
But we still look at them every year.
Yep. Thank you for coming with me. I got a bingo, and now I get a cool buffet, they said. Thank you. Thanks. Can we do the Swedish Egg Coffee?
Sure, just one?
Yep. It tastes very much like regular black coffee.
Now that the Swedish Egg Coffee has cooled down, and since we're waiting in line for Pickle Pizza anyways, I thought I would try it. Kara and Nate, even though I don't like coffee, this one's for you. There you go. We finally got our second item of food for the day. We're not doing questions with drinks because that would just take all day long. We've got our nice little pickle pizza here from Rick's Pizza. The question that we're answering is Anchorage, the best place to kind of base out of when you're visiting Alaska. Although it's a great place to visit, I would definitely recommend getting out of Anchorage, seeing some of the other smaller towns. Seward and Homer are 2 incredible places to base out of. Definitely try to check out Denali, some of the other national parks. Now for Pickle Pizza.
Deborah almost dropped.
Very pickly, very good.
If you've been watching us for a while, you know I love pizza.
Tyler, the pizza connoisseur. How many countries have you had pizza in now?
A lot. That is actually really good. Recommend.
We've officially got our third food item here today, which is Reuben Bites with Thousand Island dressing. Fun fact for you guys, Thousand Island dressing was actually invented right here in Minnesota. We're gonna answer our third question for you guys. What show did we interview for back before our world trip? If you guys don't know the story, we were actually contacted by producers last fall, right before we left on our world trip, to interview for this TV show. We didn't end up making it, but we're 90% sure that the end result was Raised to Survive, which I'm actually not sure if I'm supposed to share or not. They're a little mushy.
Yeah, very different than what I thought they would be. Don't know if I'd necessarily recommend these ones. This is one of my favorite parts of the fair. Compared to Alaska, this is like half the size of the pumpkin that we saw last year. We got stuffed olives on a stick. I get it every year. They're my favorite. Our next question that we're gonna answer while we eat these delicious olives is about trusted house sitters. So Deborah made a whole YouTube video answering all your questions. So she'll link that right here for you guys.
We skipped the haunted house.
Deborah doesn't like them.
I hate haunted houses, so we're not doing that this year.
I got my outdoor news. I get it every year and read it one time a year.
Are you so excited?
Yeah.
We got another food item. Question number 5 is, are we still trying to buy a house in Alaska? And the short answer is yes, but we really can't afford a house in Alaska because they're crazy expensive. And even though we've been looking for quite a while, we haven't found anything that's really in our budget and that's livable. So we're gonna keep looking. As for the food, we got a handcrafted Thelma's ice cream sandwich. S'mores flavor. Can't say no to ice cream. We took a quick little break to go see all the animals, and now we're gonna go get some more food.
So we got our next food item, which is poutine. So one of our questions that came in was, what is the key to get pictures with nobody in the shop? So a good key to that is going very early, like sunrise, or sometimes even later in the day, if it's not like a sunset spot. Also to be patient. Sometimes we wait until it kind of like clears out. Sometimes there's a rush right when we get there.
Basically, just don't go at peak time. Is it as good as you remember?
Yeah.
I think the last poutine you had was McDonald's when we drove down from Alaska.
This is way better than that one. My favorite thing at the fair. That's my favorite. My favorite. My favorite parts. They're my favorite.
We've just got our next item of food, hot dish on a stick, which if you know Minnesota, they're very, very proud of their hot dishes. Do you think I could do this, travel the world and do a year trip solo? 100% yes. We've met women from different trips, just different countries that we've been to, and they're doing it completely on their own. I 1000% think it's possible as long as you kind of plan ahead and know what to expect and follow basic safety precautions. Now for my tater tot hot dish.
All mine?
Not for me.
Doesn't look appetizing.
No, fun fact, the night I came home from Thailand, this is the first thing Tyler made me was tater tot hot dish.
That's how much I like it. Oh, Deborah, you left.
Do I get to keep that? I didn't win, but he gave me a little puppy.
We stopped and got Deborah's favorite, fried pickles.
Literally my favorite food of the entire fair.
And she's letting me eat the first one. Someone asked where the best places to rent bear spray in Anchorage are. So Deborah actually wrote a blog post about this. And in Alaska, there's a lot of smaller shops that rent bear spray. If you want to buy it when you get there, you can usually get it at Cabela's or REI's, but you cannot take it back on the airplane with you.
There's also a really popular Facebook group where you can trade or swap or give away or buy bear spray. But that's all in the blog post. I'll link it below for you guys. And now we're gonna have some of the best state fair food.
And I do want to note, Deborah got the first one.
Getting my lucky numbers. The first line. You enjoyed competition and challenge.
Yep. That's spot on for Deborah. Thank you.
You ready?
Ready. Here we go. It's 100, as we found out in one of our games earlier.
Oh, true. I guess 200. I was wrong.
Here we go. Who's gonna win?
You? Oh, God.
I won.
In the bin?
Yeah, I won.
Tyler's making us skip the reptile show.
I did it with her in Alaska, so that one's enough.
He didn't do so well that time. Snakes. I don't even know where Tyler went. Where is he? We made it into the dairy barn,
They have the best ice cream.
and of course we had to go stop and see the Butterheads.
That's my favorite because it's so funny.
Fun fact, the families actually get to keep the entire head of butter that gets carved. Another food item means another question for you guys. What are we doing after our world trip, and are we still planning to move back to Alaska? Again, the short answer is yes, we are planning to move back to Alaska after our world trip. However, our world trip ends in December, and it's really hard to move to Alaska in the winter, so we aren't really planning to move up until spring, summertime.
Yep.
And so we kind of need to figure out what we want to do in that little gap in between.
In between time. So that's still to come.
Yeah. So I guess stay tuned and we'll all see when it happens.
Two junior 3-year-olds here in the Humping Shorthorn Ring. Congratulations.
We're moving on. That's enough of that. We've gotten one of our probably last food items of the day, which means one more question for you guys. And we chose the question of how do you decide which country to visit and where to go in each country? Basically, I've been interested in travel my entire life. I've been building up my bucket list for each country, and we're basically using that to guide us or people's recommendations that we meet on the road. Sri Lanka, that was a totally spontaneous trip that we added on, whereas trips to New Zealand, Australia, those were more bucket list things that I've been wanting to do my entire life. We've been here for about 10 hours now, and we're definitely getting tired, and we're starting to make our way out. We've officially made it to our last food item, which is a classic Minnesota State Fair icon.
Sweet Martha's cookies.
Our last question, which we got overwhelmingly the most of, is why we had to make an emergency stop here in the United States when we didn't plan to during our world trip.
So I was having some issues with my bank.
So basically what happened is all the way back in February, we got hacked. We're not gonna say for what amount exactly, but just know that it was a large chunk of what we had planned for our world trip. We weren't able to get it fixed while we were abroad. There were letters getting sent home to our permanent address, and we just couldn't fix it while we were traveling. Because of that, we ended up making an emergency stop back here in the United States. Now it should be all figured out. We're keeping our fingers crossed, and hopefully you guys will do the same for us. It should be all fixed now. Our plan, after spending almost an entire month here in the United States, is to finish out the week, go camping for a few more days, and hopefully head off to country 23 by the end of the week. Yeah, so we're super excited to be back out on the road, hopefully soon, and finish out our world trip really strong.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed that video. We always appreciate you guys watching, and make sure to subscribe if you want to be here for the highs and the lows of traveling. So we will see you on the next adventure, and thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
How's it going?
It's harder than I thought. Oh, I had 2 pages. We got our tickets from this nice gentleman.
We cut the line because we had cash.
Yeah. I don't want to mess up my hair.
Oh my god.
Okay.
What?
It's a kohlrabi.
If any of you guys know how to pronounce that, let us know, because we clearly don't.
I bet I'm right.
I bet you're not.
Me too. I'm full of this thing. Anyone want it?
So, also I might have corn in my teeth.
Well, you're good.
Okay. Is that fine?
Yeah. Just can't move.
Oh, crunchy.
Good.
I hear it crunchy?
No?
Do you hear mine?
Yeah. Why are you so crunchy? Thank you. Have a great ball. Yeah, you too.
Pro tip, if you want the best views of the fair, take the one-way sky ride for $6.
Oh, it's the best views and it gets you off your feet.
Yeah, we had checked, and this was like an hour ago. We were at 20,000 steps. Oh, a wig?
Yeah. Hot dog.
There's a cookie. A yardstick.
Oh.
Look at that. What is that? All right, guys, we're ending the day at 23,100 and some steps.
That's why my legs hurt so much.
Yeah, we definitely both have blisters and also some sunburn, apparently. So